Lima, Peru. And we're going to take a little side trip. A few of the folks, after getting lost, getting to Lima, that was exciting. It was for me. Anyway, the idea of this whole adventure is that we won the $1 billion lotto, and we can afford to run around in jets. I started off thinking about the Gulfstream, but I don't have a Gulfstream. I have the Cessna Longitude is the nicest business jet that I have, and it's pretty nice, but it's not a Gulfstream. Anyway, the business jet can go certain things, and go certain speeds, but covering great distances in flying, it just is slow motion. Sitting up there in a little tiny cockpit, looking out tiny windows, is not exactly fun. But this simulator allows you to get outside the airplane and see the full perspective of what the airplane and what the people inside are experiencing in different ways. So now we're gonna fly over the great thing my son visited there, and of course I've watched it for years, is Machu Picchu. And what we're looking at here is we're departing from the airport where we landed. Finally we found Lima yesterday after going, gosh sakes, we went almost down. We were down here by Chile. Oh, this I recognize, this area. So we were down around here when I turned around. So I hadn't looked at that. And during that flight, I discussed how I could identify any place along the coast of the west coast of the United States, but I didn't know the coastline, the west coast of South America. Well, I'm learning the west coast of South America, and there's a tip-off here at Lima. There's a little fish-like island when you're at 100,000 feet. I don't know whether this would be 100,000 feet. It doesn't say what our altitude is looking when I zoom in and out. But this little island off of Lima tips it off that you're over Lima. Okay, enough of the navigation and the problems or the fun of flying a flight simulator. And this one happens to be the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I having more damn fun. You can't believe what this old pilot is doing and learning. I learn every day. So we're going to fly over, and Cusco is marked on the, Machu Picchu is marked on the chart. So there's no airport at Machu Picchu, and people would go in and out of Cusco, which has a long runway. I don't know what the altitude is. I could look that up, but it really doesn't matter, because I know that the runway's long enough, even though the higher you go, your indicated airspeed and actual airspeed get further and further apart as you get up into the thin air of higher altitudes. So here we go. We're gonna go here first, and then we'll click for the direction, which whatever this line is here, which is probably 110 degrees. So we'll probably have to fly at 120 or 125 degrees after we hit Machu Picchu to find Cusco. And I can use the communication to figure out just the exact heading to get to Cusco. So here we go. We're going to fly. And again, we're going to Machu Picchu. This is over in the Swiss Alps, I'm sure. Very pretty sailplane. Haven't talked a lot yet today, so I got a little a little tickle in my throat. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, we're booted up.
Ready for north departure at runway 34.
And north departure, I didn't really want to go north. So we're heading 340. We have to be heading about 120, but that's all right. This airplane gets along at Mach 2, so we'll be getting there rather quickly. Let's go. Take the brakes off, and of course I like the outside look. Here we go. Hold on there, Mr. Airliner. We'll be off the ground before he gets out on the runway. And gear up, and flaps up, and we'll come around to our easterly heading. And we'll look back. I don't know why the airliner has to taxi down the runway. There's the little telltale island right behind us that's from 100,000 feet that looks like a dead fish sitting there. Okay, there we're heading toward Machu Picchu. And of course we would take a F-15, but this is just for the speed where we just went through the sound barrier. I was amazed. I've never been to Lima and looked at the air of it, but it's absolutely huge area.
Tower 527 BC Tree 901 frequency change.
And we'll get here so I don't have to yell over the top of the. But look at the expanse of this area of Lima. It's just huge. Just huge. Okay, so the sun is behind us. We'll move up here so we don't have to hear the afterburners. And heading, and I guessed that we would be flying about 110 to 120, and we're at 110 degrees. And the course is just slightly to our right. I could get into talking about how I get off, how I missed Lima yesterday, but that's not necessary. This is an instructional time. I have an instructor's rating, but I haven't taught flying for 50 years. So we'll go up here to. It's going to be about a 20-minute flight in this airplane. What we would take, say there's 10 people that, or 7 people that would like to go over to Machu Picchu, you'd take the TBM. You'd take a small turboprop, or you might take you could take with the length of the runway over at Cusco. You could take the jet. When if we had a Gulfstream, probably a Gulfstream could go over there. All right, there we are at 30,000 feet. That's enough. We can level off. Let me get inside here, and there's level. Hold it at 20,000 feet. Did we get the wheels up? Let's look back here, see if we got yeah, we got the wheels up, we got the flaps up. I don't see any flaps. Look at how I don't know how far we are from the equator, but we got snow-capped mountains. Now we have to get over here. Here we can't. We've got such a short distance. We're going 30 minutes, so we need to get on course. So our course line is off to our right. So we'll fly here maybe 120 degrees until we get on the course line. And then we will see if we see what Machu Picchu looks like. I flew over it before in a different airplane just to look at it. And we gotta hold this. I think that's about level. There's level right there. See if we get the rate of climb to go back out here. We're going slightly down. Okay, we're on course. Now we go back to 110 degrees and just stay on that course line. See it drifting to the left up there in the left-hand corner. We're certainly getting an idea of the topography, terrain, and we could bring up the chart. See how we're doing on the chart. Yeah, we're right on the line, and we can see our destination is right here, and there's where we're going to land when we. That's Cusco right there, SPZO. It's almost right on the direct line there. So when we get to the end of the line, we're over Machu Picchu. And during that little conversation, I went up 5,000 feet. I figured out that having this on the autopilot, and let's get over here so I don't have to yell. When I have it on the autopilot, it gets the shimmy shakes. And let's look up the other way because the mountains are snow-capped up there. There, we can look back that way. And I can watch over here while I can't see whether we are level or not. I can see we're just descending at 500 feet a minute. I can see here we're on course. And also here I can see we're on course up there in the upper left hand corner. And we're slowly losing a little altitude, so I'll just use a little pressure on the yoke. I hit a little bump. Okay, now let's look down the other direction at the mountains. So I looked up the elevation of Machu Picchu, and that is 8,000, just under 8,000 feet. So these mountains in here are 8 to 10,000 feet. My guess, it's just a guess, and so imagine that we are in the Cessna Citation longitude, and if we were in that, we'd be going about 400 knots. In this, we're going 1,000 knots, Mach 1.7. If we were at 40,000 feet, we get this up to almost Mach 2, and up to about 1,400 miles an hour. So you see the course is going off to just slightly to the right, although this shows we're right on the course here. And we'll move this over as we get close. And we'll just check the sunshine to see if we can get any resolution any better. Usually at noon part of the day. See, as I get toward noon, with the sun higher in the sky, you get a little more resolution. Prettier pictures. I'm for the pretty pictures. It's rugged land. Rugged mountainous terrain. And we're now going up at 2,000 feet a minute, which really doesn't matter. If you were, of course, flying under control of ATC, air traffic control, it wants you to stick to your altitude. And so that's why today most everything has autopilots. Even though this looks somewhat realistic, I'm on nobody's radar. This is all fiction. Here, a little bit left. I want to have this pretty much dead on when I get to Machu Picchu. And I don't think it hasn't been handcrafted, so it's going to be pretty close to what the computer sees from the satellite, what the camera sees from the satellite. All this is satellite generated pictures right here. Right. Now I got to get back to course because we'll go right across our course. So we're having fun in Lima, and look up YouTubes. Somebody has done aerial shots of the sightseeing, the terrain, lakes, rivers, mountains, waterfalls, and it's got music. No talking, just beautiful pictures from drones and music, and it's awesome. They are long. They're over an hour long, but look for that YouTube if you want some pleasant viewing. Now we're getting close. So the any little errors I make get multiplied. So staying on course, you have to. So we're 27,000. So we wanted to come down a little bit, and we should be getting to Machu Picchu here pretty quick. Pretty soon. Maybe it's on the other side of this valley here, right up in here. Of course, as soon as I make a guess, it's wrong. Look at that! There's snow on the. So yeah, the snow with the sun, the snow would be on the south side. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Yeah, Machu Picchu is going to be over, and the airport is probably going to be down in here someplace. They'd keep the airport close to the. People aren't going to be living on the top. They're not going to build a runway on the top of the mountains. So the airport we're going to, and it's plenty long runway. So we'll be able to land this fellow there. And then there's a lot of hiking to get up to Machu Picchu. I'm guessing. Let's move this over now. Yeah, see, we're getting close to the end of the line. So Machu Picchu is going to be sitting right up in here. So let's go down and see what the altitude of that. I already said it was 8,000 feet. But anyway, I'll come back on the power and we'll settle down so we get pretty close. Yeah, we'll let it settle. Let's see if we see. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna get off here. Get over to the right a little bit. Just went through the sound barrier. came down through the sound barrier. So this, I pointed to this peak as where it was, but that obviously is probably over 10,000 feet. So they didn't want to live that high. And we're over to the right just a little bit. By this, I can see it's just slightly to the right. This shows us we're right on the money, the chart. 19,000 feet. Machu Picchu is at 8,000 feet. So possibly, you know, if we're going right, it's going to be up in here. Maybe it's right on this little peak right here. And they had to pick a peak where there was water. Somehow they had some water that they could get to, and you know, whether they were trying to keep from the enemy from getting to them, so it was difficult to get up there, or whether that was the reason they picked that area. And this isn't going to be it either. We're not to the end of the line yet, so that isn't Machu Picchu. Maybe this is Machu Picchu right here. I keep guessing. I don't know. We're 300 knots, so we're not going to fall out of the sky right over Machu Picchu. Looks like something's going on right there. Again, I don't believe it's been handcrafted, so we're not going to see the buildings. We'll get this up here like that, so we're looking down. And we're getting a little bit off again. There we go. Not to the end of the line yet. We're still descending, and we're 250, so we're okay there. Not to the end of the line yet. So, again, I guessed wrong. And we're 14,000 feet, so we're still not down to their altitude. Look at the snow-capped mountains over there. Interesting. I don't know how far we are from the equator. Still not to the end. So now we're going to be up in here is where it's going to be. Here, this going up this valley, that could be the way up there. Could be. I see a little something right over in there, but it shows that the course is off to the left. So that isn't it. Now I got to come in with a little power, because it might be on the other side of this ridge here. Somewhere over in here. Still not there. Yeah, we'll put in a little flap so we can fly slowly. Need a little more power. 14,000 feet. Maybe it got too much flap. Still not there. Of course, right there where Machu Picchu is, they got a big kind of a rock formation at one end. Now we got to get over this hill here. Well, I just missed it. Now this valley going up. This could be getting close. This is the best looking formations of rock on mountains. So possibly they have done a little bit, and by the time we get to Machu Picchu, it may look better than I saw it the last time. There's a water source right there, 15,000 feet. Come around to the right. Yeah, these are too high for Machu Picchu. Is at 8,000. Now I see something that looks like the rock that stands out right about 2 ridges over. That could be it. See, there's water at higher elevations. No, that's just a face there. Now I have to come back to the left. We went around that ridge, forced us to go off course to the right. Come back to the left. Oh, too far left. Too far left. Yeah, it's this next ridge over here. Let's come back on the power. Get heading right here. Back on course. And we'll drop down, so we'll be at the approximate elevation. $12,000. What's that down there? I don't think that's it. It might be up on this ridge here. Getting close. Getting very close. And I tried to fly over it. There wasn't much of anything to hang your hat on. They were just barely hanging in the sky here. 10,000 feet, so we're getting almost down to the right elevation. Now, it didn't show a dot, it just showed the word Machu Picchu, so possibly it's right up here. Because when we look out like that, I don't see anything right there that looks, oh, that could be it right down there. But we don't quite show that we're at the end of the line, so this may be it right up here. Put the flaps up. This could be it right up here. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to say. So let's look right back at that. It would be up at snow. We're 15,000 feet. So let's come back down that ridge. Anyway, you can see, and you can, I mean, there's drone shots and everything of this, and of course, the satellite shot is not going to be what's going to show you. Here we're down to 13, so this wouldn't be it at 13,000 feet. But we'll fly down this ridge and see if we see something that looks like. No, we're 12,000 feet. That's not it. And it shows it's round to the right. So maybe it's on this ridge right down there. Yeah, there it is. That's probably it right there. There you go. There you go, right there. There's Machu Picchu. Okay, now we got to try to find Machu Picchu. Now we got to find oh, and that's around to the right here. And we'll go back past it one more time now that we found. So it's a better shot than and we just go around it. Then it's a better look than I had the last time I flew by. And in the background there's higher hills, so that would be the higher hill there. And then we'll make one low pass over it and see how it holds up. See how it holds up. Here we go. There we go. Right over it. We got it. And now we're going to make a right turn to go to flaps up. Make a right turn to go over to, just have to get over this ridge to get over to Cusco. They have enough power to get over this ridge here. Just by the hair of our chinny chin chin. What was that? Was that one of the piglets said that? So we're heading right for Cusco to land. Looks like there's an airplane that's heading for that. Oh, we can keep the power up. It's kind of fun. This is a little bit like the Tom Cruise movie. I finally saw the last part of the Tom Cruise movie. It has Dark Star in it. So they're flying up in the mountains. Okay. Well, we gotta slow her down for landing, and we will call. Come back in with a little power. Getting down out of the mountains for our landing. I don't know where, maybe the airport's up on the hill. I'm not quite lined up with the runway. The runway maybe is up on the hill here. So let's give them a call. And SPZO, yeah, there it is.
Tower 527 BC Tree 901 is 18 miles northwest 13,900 feet with Oscar to land.
527 BC Tree 901 Tower. Altimeter 29.92 wind calm. Make left downwind runway 28.
Okay. Left downwind runway 28. Oh, that's
Fly
right.
left traffic
Right
runway
here.
285 27 BC Tree 901.
Left downwind runway 28. Okay, I got my wheels down. So this guy landed on 280 is to the west, and he want me to come left downwind to come around to land. So I'm going to fly across, and I can put my wheels up and flaps up and go a little faster here. I thought I was closer. It's going to be pretty high. So we got to fly past the airport and then fly with the airport on our left on downwind. So we'll make a left turn, flying to the east to come back and fly heading west, which would be pointing to our right. Okay, so the airport's going to be over this way for my downwind. So that's the guy that just landed. I've never landed. I might have landed at this airport. We'll get over here. Let's look out for the runway now. Runway should be right out in here. There's the runway right there. There's the runway. So we want me to fly left downwind. Now we can come back on the power. I thought it was about 30 miles away. It may be more like 50 miles away from Machu Picchu. I can drop down altitude.
Sky Express 5009er, contact ground on 121.9er. Sky Express 5009er.
Okay, got back on the power, get her slowed down a little bit. We can always do this. Put the speed brake up. Now we can drop the flaps and the gear, and they'll call us and say we're clear to land.
527 BC Tree 901, wind calm, clear to land runway 28.
Clear to land runway 28, 527 BC Tree 901.
Now we can get these out of the way. Come on around, there's the runway. Got to keep it at about 150. Got to remember that it's a little faster because of the altitude. Maybe it requires a little more power. There we go. Put the air brake out. Flaps up. Yeah, we're going pretty slow. I haven't had to use the brakes yet. I will hit the brakes a little bit.
BC Tree Niner, one turn next taxiway.
Here we go.
527 BC Tree Niner, 1, contact ground on 121.9er.
Going to 121.9er, 527 BC Tree 901. Ground 527 BC Tree 901, request taxi to parking.
527 BC Tree 901 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway.
I don't see my little men. I see fuel off to the left. Let's go for the fuel. Always need fuel. And interesting thing.
527 BC Tree 901, did you copy?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't answer. There we go.
Taxi to fuel 527 BC Tree 901.
And watch what happens when we tax up to the fuel. Watch what happens on the screen. There it goes. So we have an automatic feature that doesn't allow me to see all the fuel is full here. You can move the fuel to empty to full, but this thing runs with about half to 2/3 fuel. It's set not to run out of fuel. When I first got it, I was flying around in the Citation over the Sierras, and I'm running along, and all of a sudden I'm losing altitude. Of course, I had it in a position where I couldn't hear the engines that well, so I didn't realize that the engines had shut down, and I wasn't watching the gauges. So I floated down into Stockton. I think I landed in Stockton. All right, enough of the horseplay. Let's get this off, and we'll look inside. Shut down. Here we go. Oh, we got to get the canopy open. Hatch cover. Here we go. The hatch cover. And look at, we're at 10,000 feet. Wow. So we are actually higher than Machu Picchu here. Machu Picchu, I think, is at 8,000 feet. But it sure is remote. And I was surprised to see the to see as much as it hasn't been fully handcrafted. If it had, it would have a little marker on it, a little icon there that would show that it had been handcrafted. So it was in pretty good shape. You knew that something was going on there. Okay, thanks for riding along. And the next shot, we already flew down the coast down to Chile by overshooting. So probably, yeah, maybe. Okay, when we take off from Lima, we'll fly the airplane the way a pilot. We'll stay in the cockpit. We'll quit jumping around with the outside pictures, and fly it and see how well we can hold it at altitude. We'll try to fly it at 100,000 feet and keep it within. Let's try to keep it within 5,000 feet, which I've never done. But in order to do that, you have to stay in the cockpit, keep your eye on the instruments, and then we will. Surely we won't. I think the capital of Chile is at Santiago. Let me see here. I've got a little yes, Santiago. So we're going, and that's a 1,500-mile shot. It was 1465 from Panama City to Lima, and so down to it'll be 1531. So it'll be about 30-minute flight. So it'll be a little boring because you won't see as many pictures, but the pure pilots will enjoy it more. Because when you're a pilot, you have to sit there. You can't be jumping all over the place like I do. Thanks for riding along. Adios.